They're awesome. There's so many things that I look back and I think I should do better. The people themselves are just so overwhelmingly nice and accommodating and hospitable. I remember, you know, a lot of times we'd go and we'd knock on doors, and on several occasions people would get these big grins on their face when they saw us. They'd invite us in. They'd offer us some bread or some cookies or tea. Obviously, we didn't drink, you know, black or green tea, but we'd have herbal tea. And then they would afterwards say, "Okay, who are you and what do you want?" Pretty much, which showed that just there's this culture of community, you know, of everyone helping everyone else. And if there's two people that they notice that, you know, look hungry, look like they've been out in the weather, you know, let's invite them in and let's give them something. And then it doesn't matter who they are or what they want, we'll accommodate them. And we had that happen several times, and it was really awesome. The people are, like I said, just so nice. Typically, it was a lot slower paced than it was in Moscow, where everyone's busy, everyone's worried about business, and of course that they had that in Almaty as well. But the people were really humble. And I know people hear that a lot when we talk about Russia and Kazakhstan, and what I mean by that isn't necessarily that they were poor. Yeah, a lot of them were poor, a lot of them weren't, but it seems like they weren't trying to compete with their neighbors. They weren't trying to show, look, I have more than you, I make more money than you, or I'm prettier. You know what I mean? I didn't get any of that vibe, kind of like we do a little bit more here in our country. So I thought that was really admirable. They were really prone to faith. I remember there's one family, they had a daughter who was blind, and I didn't know she was blind for like 4 months. I knew that there was something wrong with her. I knew that I thought maybe she has astigmatism or something, but I didn't know she was blind. And when I found out she was blind, my jaw just dropped to the floor. Because how could you miss that? You know what I mean? And so I remember actually I got to know the parents really well, and I asked them, hey, so what's actually, you know, what's up with your daughter? I did it in a polite way. And they said, well, she's blind, she can't see. And I said, are you kidding me? She doesn't have a walking stick. You're not, she's walking, she's getting around fine. She's able to do things that most other people can do. And I remember I learned a really important lesson. In her response, she said, we don't focus on what she can't do, we focus on what she can do. We don't tell her that she's disabled, we tell her she's enabled. She can still use all of her 4 other senses, and so she still has a lot of abilities, and by focusing on what she can do versus what she can't, then she's able to act normal. And like I said, she gets around without even, you can't even tell that she's blind, and she's walking around. So I thought that was pretty incredible, and it just shows how prone they are to faith, I think, and to that kind of life. And so a lot that I admire about the Kazakh people.